Some of you are forcing relationships that are not relationships. Like, you may be in the relationship on your own and the other person is already checked out. Your employer is already looking for someone to replace you. Your boyfriend is already looking for his next girlfriend. Your best friend already got 3 other best friends and leaving you by the wayside. Like, you're holding on to relationships that don't want to be held on to. All of this is ultimately hurting your own heart. Hey there, beautiful people. Thank you again for joining Hattie Empowers YouTube channel. So today's discussion is, what are you doing to hurt your own heart? A lot of you may not want to be honest about this because you don't want to face your bad behaviors, your bad traditions, things that you have set up in your life that make you feel like you feel good, but you know it doesn't. To make yourself feel like you're okay, but you're really not. You know, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how we intentionally set ourselves up to hurt and be in pain and to feel as if no one cares and no one loves us, and to feel as if this is all we're deserving of, or this is as good as it gets. And I think a lot of times we psych ourselves out about that because we lack confidence, we lack self-esteem, we lack self-love. It could be from our childhood trauma. It could be from how we saw our parents in the household and thought that that toxic love, that, that fake love, that pretense, that representative type of love was okay. And that is what you're used to, but it's not. You know, it could be many reasons as to why you're walking around hurt and intentionally hurting yourself, and knowing that, and just kind of feel like, it is what it is. And this is as good as it gets. And this is all I'm going to have. Well, I was intentional about my heart. So January of 2023, I set out intentions because I knew what I wanted at this point. I knew that I no longer wanted to hurt myself, but I also knew that I wanted to open up my heart for what it is that I did want. So it was more so of me writing a prayer and a manifestation down that I would read out loud, that I would pray out loud to the big homie, and that I would believe and I would actually welcome into my life, because I knew it's what I wanted. But I also knew that I had to then work towards the prayer, right? I had to work towards the manifestation, and I had to be sincere in what it was that I wanted, because I knew that I would be reading these words out, and I know how powerful the tongue is. And I wanted to bring life to what it is that I wanted for my heart. And I'm hoping that at the end of this video, it's something that you do for yourself as well, where you sit with yourself and actually write down what you want for your heart. A lot of us right now are in spaces where we don't get it. We don't get why we welcome the hurt and the pain. We are unsure and unclear of why we allow people to do certain things to us and then still state that they love us, or we state that we love them. And how could we if we're not really loving ourselves the way we need to be or should be? Not clear about what it is that our heart actually needs and what our heart actually wants. But if you write down the things that do not make your heart feel good, then you can come to that conclusion of what is not working for you and what is working for you. And some of you are not writing that down in your 30-day notice book that I wrote on Amazon. I'm here to tell you that you can discover what it is that your heart wants if you are truly ready to receive it. And some of us are okay with that toxic love. And once again, it could come from your childhood trauma. It could come from your life experience and the love that you've been given, and you don't know anything else. And I'm here to tell you that something else is out there. You just have to go out and get it. You have to speak it into your life, but you also have to be open to welcome that, right? So some people say that they want to get married and they want a relationship, but you're not open to a relationship. You're not open to welcome someone to come in and introduce themselves to you, to let you know that we may actually be a good match. But you may be afraid of that. And the question is why? And even if it's something new, if it's something that you say that you want, and you're stating that you want to be married at a certain time and you want to have children, but yet you're not open to that, then how is that going to happen? Right? Who are you going to marry? Yourself? I mean, if you choose to. No judgment over here. But if that's not what you're stating that you want, then you have to be open to that. And I believe that that's something that, we fight against, which means that we're not giving our hearts what it is that we want. So I'm going to share my prayer with you. I'm about to be very open and vulnerable with you all and share it with you. But this prayer is more than just words that are put down on paper. It is truly what my heart desires, but it's also truly something that I need in order for me to be happy. Because these things that you're about to hear that I stated are things that I actually want and need in my life, but it's also me putting work into obtaining it, and also me being open to receiving it. Let's get into it. Lord, I want peace in my life that surpasses all my understanding. I want a love that doesn't have to be questioned and makes me feel safe. I want a level of communication where there's no guessing, but total transparency. I want to be comfortable with my flaws without questioning my natural beauty. I want to be financially healthy with no fear of being incapable of taking care of my blessings, aka my daughters. I want Hattie and Powers to blossom into a beautiful masterpiece that you intentionally set up for it to be through me. I want my life to have more purpose than I can imagine and to be more impactful than I even thought it could be. I want Hattie and Powers to give off so much love that anyone who is a part of the work can instantly feel it and is loved by it. I want to live a peaceful and happy life on purpose with purpose. I want to feel my feelings and be okay with anything that may come up for me. I want to live. I choose to let go. I choose to release what I cannot control. I choose to feel it and then relinquish it. I choose to acknowledge it and then release it. I choose to breathe and be still. I choose to cry and then feel. I choose to blossom as I heal. In Jesus' name, amen. Although I prayed these things and I manifested these things, right? And although I want these things, I do not know how it will come into fruition. I do not know every plan. All I know is that I have to put the work in to make these things happen. I have to be open to receiving what it says, that what I say I want. I have to put it out there and believe it myself. But I don't know what it will look like. I just have to be open to receiving it. And that's the thing. Some of you are putting things out there that you say that you want. You're actually working towards it. But when it doesn't look like how you think it's supposed to look, then you just give up on it. Have you ever looked at some videos sometimes and someone says, oh, this is what my dream man, who I thought it would be, but then this is who I got with. And this is like the love of my life. And if I would have missed out on this, I would have never known what true love is. It's because we be so detailed in what we want. And I'm not saying don't manifest it. I'm not saying you can't have exactly what it is that you want. But the package that you might have wanted, maybe a Doritos bag, but it may come in a Utz package. Right? So you can't say, this is what I want. And then when it's given to you, be like, but that's not quite how I wanted it. But do you want it or do you not? Do you love it or do you not? Because if you love it, you're going to make it work. Right? So it may not be ideal. But then there's things that can. It can be exactly how you want it if you work towards it. But there's a process for some things. Some people want that instant, like you want instant gratification, and everything is not going to happen for you instantly. And let's just say if it did, maybe it just wasn't made correctly. You wanted it done so fast that there's so many imperfections and so many mistakes that ultimately you won't really even be happy with it. The outcome is not what you wanted because you rushed the process. Some of you are forcing relationships that are not relationships. Like you may be in the relationship on your own and the other person is already checked out. Your employer is already looking for someone to replace you. Your boyfriend is already looking for his next girlfriend. Your best friend already got 3 other best friends and leaving you by the wayside. Like you're holding on to relationships that don't want to be held on to. All of this is ultimately hurting your own heart. You're very aware of these things. So you letting go of that package that was created for you because you had a certain look that you wanted. And this is not the look. So the next person that you get that has that exact look is hurting your heart left and right. You wanted this particular job, but you were being offered something else. But because this had a couple of more dollars, you sold your soul for a couple of more dollars, where the other job would have made you happy and you could have grown it and got your financial needs met, but you were so in a rush that you couldn't see the whole big picture by waiting through the process. You are engaged in these relationships that is hurting you, and the other person that you're entertaining and engaged in doesn't even want you, that you missed out on 5 other opportunities that were for you and created specifically for you. But you're crying over spilled milk. You can't say you want something. You can't say you need something. You can't say that you have boundaries and expectations in order to make your heart happy and to not hurt your own heart, but then work against those very things. Because there's no one you can put it on but yourself. So how are you hurting your heart? What relationship are you entertaining and engaged in that is not serving you, yet you're still there? Yet you're still showing up for work. Yet you're still having sex with this person. Yet you're still being a friend and giving them things that they need. Yet you're still taking care of your adult child. What is it that you're doing that's hurting your own heart? And then you want to go and complain about these same situations. Why? You're loving it, aren't you? You have to figure that part out. It's the why behind that. So when you write down your list on how you're hurting your own heart, then ask yourself the question, why? And when you can't make sense out of it, because trust me, you won't be able to make sense out of it, then I want you to move forward with what you need to do. These are the hard truths you have to hear. These are the hard truths that I give myself, right? This is the tough love that you need to receive. This is the tough love that I receive myself. Because when I'm not getting what it is that I want and what it is that I need, it's also me figuring out the why. And what am I doing to block my own blessings, to block my own growth, to block the love that I said that I want, to block the relationships that I said that I need? Because that manifestation with those relationships and those prayer and the love and the communication and all of that has to do with every relationship that I have. It's not just bound by a sexual relationship for me. That is exactly what it is that I need in my life and the type of people that I need in my life. And that goes for wherever I'm at work, family, friends, lovers, anyone. So if I'm not receiving that in my relationships, I need to figure out why. If Hattie Empowers is not moving the way I need it to move, I need to figure out why. Is it something that I'm doing? Is it something that I'm not doing? What is that? If my finances are not looking the way I need them to look, then I have to figure out, what am I rebudgeting? What is it that I have to figure out with these numbers? What is it that I need to be doing more of? What should it be looking like? Let me assess this budget list again. I'm intentional in making sure that I receive what it is that I need and I want, and I get it exactly how I need it and I want it. No, it's not easy. I'm still going through the process. There's still some things that's not lining up. But I welcome the process because I want to be happy. So what someone else may rush and receiving the package that they shouldn't be receiving, I want my package to be for me. I want to unwrap that package, and I'll be totally happy. So how are you treating your heart? How are you loving your heart? How are you hurting your heart? And what is it that you're willing to do to make sure that you're not causing the hurt to your heart? And then eliminating whatever it is. Thank you for tuning in with me today. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons to Hattie Empowers YouTube channel. And I'll see y'all all next week. Have a good kind of day. Tag me in.